Hey, good evening, everyone. I tried to go live the other way and it wasn't working. It was acting weird, so this will not be on the 24-hour channel. This is going to be just here right now. If this were a larger event, I would have done more testing before and everything like that. I thought everything was set up, but yes, I will be better about that going forward. But it was kind of a hectic day. And we have 2 kids coming in tomorrow. But what are you tuning in for? To hear about my family? No. You're tuning in to see what is going on with this severe weather. And there's some weird stuff happening, actually. So let's take a look at radar first off. When I say weird, it's not bad. So I kind of mentioned this actually in my last post. Hello, Miss Linda. How you doing? So we have this line of storms kind of bowing out here into parts of Sabine Parish as well as up into DeSoto and Red River. This part of the line is actually, I would say most of this is north of the warm front right now. That warm front has surged back north of the camera site here at Toledo Bend, so right there along Highway 6. But here in Alexandria, it's suppressed down to the south. And that is a big deal because that means we're not going to see the surface-based instability, and that's going to reduce the tornado threat. So I think these areas up here in the northern parishes, I think the tornado threat's pretty low. It's not impossible. We just had a tornado warning out there in East Texas. But it was really, really close to the front. So anything along or south of the front, which as I'm estimating right now, I'm going to draw a line on this and show you where I think it is. Anything south of that line still has some sort of tornado potential with it. But the way I'm seeing it right now, it's north of Leesville. It actually kind of goes between Alexandria and LeCount, and then it looks like it's into northern Avoyelles Parish. So there is a little bit of a surge there, and then the cold front, which I wonder if I can. I don't even know if I can do this, but let me see something. Let's see if I can go multicolored on you. So that's your warm front. Let me see here. Cold front. No, you don't want to do that. Let's try this. Okay, cool. Got it. All right, so then the cold front is right here. So immediately ahead of that, you've got that little surge, you got the little low pressure right there, and so it's, you can see it's clearly lifting a little bit further north as you get close to that line. So that's going to tug the front back to the north. It did settle back to the south, and that brought dew points down to about 60, 61 degrees, and that is not a recipe for tornadic development, and I don't think anyone's upset about that. But we still have a tornado watch. Now, the nice thing is, I think as this moves through, it's going to reduce in intensity as we're going to be moving away from the upper support. We'll be losing some of that instability. And even though these storms will be moving into the warm sector, it's not one of those systems where we're going to see the continual threat overnight, because I think these storms are going to start to kind of outrun the main energy. And that's going to push the outflow ahead of the storms. When that happens, you really get reduced to no tornado threat, and it's just going to be a possible damaging wind issue. So let me go ahead, pull up the warning text here on the Sabine Parish and Sabine County storm. Let me read through this for you. All right, so there is a warning now. Is this the right one? No, that's a different one. Sorry about this. I promise you, it's not my first time doing it. All right. Severe thunderstorm watch. This is for southern DeSoto, parts of, I'm not going to list all the different parts. You can tell which part of your parish is in this. DeSoto, Red River, parts of Sabine Parish, and then Sabine County, San Augustine County, Shelby County, and southeastern Panola County in Texas. There I gave you one part of the county. So at 8:07 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was loaded near Patroon, or 12 miles southeast of Center, moving northeast at 55. Main threat here, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. With this cell right here. That's the one we're looking at, this thunderstorm warning right here that goes until 8:45 p.m. And we've seen several warnings along this line, so the line is shaping up with plenty of warnings. Not seeing a ton of rotation in this. We did see, again, a tornado warning a little while ago. I'll put this in motion. This is from the Fort Polk radar site. There's your tornado warning that popped up right there, just south of Center, Texas. I didn't see anything confirming that, but you can still see there's a little red and green coming together there. So still a little rotation on the front side of this, and I think that's what we're going to be dealing with here. If we see a tornado warning pop up, it's going to be a pretty quick spin up here. This is not the recipe for long track strong tornadoes or anything like that. We'll go back to reflectivity, take a look at that. I'll pop up lightning too. So I like to track that because when we see that number start to really come down a lot, then that's when we know things are weakening. I know it's common sense, but we're seeing it actually trend down a little bit here, 1,600 down to about 1,300. That doesn't show me that things are done for the night by any stretch, but tornado watch continues until 1. This line of storms is pushing in from the west, and that is producing some severe thunderstorm warnings in that one tornado warning out there in deep East Texas. let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of things here. Let's start off with the latest HRRR model, and I'm not sure if it's going to give you the latest. Like, I was watching the one that was updating at 8 o'clock, so let me see. No, I think this is the one before. Okay, so what we have here, and the HRRR has been bad about this. It keeps trying to develop any little shower out there into a supercell thunderstorm out ahead of this, because there are some pretty good parameters, a lot of instability and decent enough wind shear and everything, but the lift is not sustaining these storms as they try to get going. So that's good news. They do get a little more robust as they head up to the north, get into that elevated instability. North of the front, that's where we've been seeing a lot of the heavy rainfall. And as I step through time here, you can see this line really breaking down on the HRRR. Now, it's trying to hang on to a storm or two because it wants me to stay up all night, so I'll be here, but you can see how things are really going to be kind of losing steam as this line continues onto the east, and I don't know why that popped up. Get away. There we go. So yeah, just taking it through this here. Let me go back through it. You can see that line moving in around midnight. I think it's going to hold together a little bit better than that, especially since it tries to have a little resurgence there around 3 or 4. But I guess the main idea with that one is that model has not been great. Now, I want to check. It's going to flash the SPC outlook. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay, no power outages yet to speak of. SPC outlook showing that slight risk in the area. This covers pretty much everyone. And the tornado threat, I would really trim this down, though. I think south of I-20, basically north of our area, that area north of Sabine Parish, north of Natchitoches Parish, Wynn Parish, I think you're kind of the northern fringe of the tornado threat, which is very isolated. So again, 3 out of 10, that's what I'm saying. If people, on a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned am I with this event? About a 3 out of 10. And I'm actually trying to write out, because I've been kind of bored here, I'm trying to write out and quantify what exactly that means and see if that's even possible. We'll see where I get with it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the camera over at Toledo Bend and see if we got some lightning out there. You can see the waves are crashing. Would not be a good one to be out there fishing tonight or anything. You knew that, though. Let me take a look here for just a minute or so, or less than a minute, because a minute's a long time. See if we see any lightning. I did see it earlier. I see the white caps. Wait, was that one? Did I miss it? I think I did. Yeah. So not that impressive right there, but they're to the right side of the screen here because it's more toward the northwest. I have been seeing some of those flashes of lightning, but so far not looking like too much chaos out there on the lake, though again, not recommended to be on the water because here comes the big old storm with a severe thunderstorm warning for the northern half of the lake right now in the northwestern part of Sabine Parish. Again, lightning really did pop up on that. It's weakened a little bit. We've seen that signature come down a little bit, and again, lightning is an indicator of how strong that storm is and how much friction's happening in there and all that good stuff. So actually down to from 1600 down to about 1350, so 1650 down to 1350 on the lightning strikes. So that's some good news for you. I'm going to take the lightning off because it does get a little distracting. But I did, we had this warning pop in and I wanted to hop in and let you know what was going on there. So I see the individual place questions here. Plocheville, you're out of the watch, so that's good news. Nobody's in the clear yet. So your highest threat for tornadoes, which is low, I'll draw a little circle here. I would say the highest threat is going to be along that warm front, which is probably going to get up to about here. And it's going to kind of be this area right here where that line's going to be moving in a little bit sooner. So when I say the highest threat, I'm talking 5% chance within 25 miles of a point. So you're probably not going to see a tornado. So let's not think, 5% chance I'm going to get hit by a tornado. That would be ridiculously high. 5% chance of one happening within 25 miles of you, and that's not terrible. 1 in 20 chance of one happening within 25 miles. So that's the area I am most concerned with because it's near where that front's surging northward. It's possible it doesn't quite make it that far north, but let's just be safe with this. I think the threat comes down after about 1 a.m., and hopefully it's down enough to where everybody can rest easy. I think you'll be able to rest easy very soon in parts of Sabine Parish into Natchitoches and Vernon. That's going to be in the next couple, maybe 3 hours. And after that, by about 1 or 2 o'clock in Alexandria. Because once that main line pushes through, it's going to slow down, but it's going to be weakening because that outflow is going to push ahead of it. So I think we're going to see some improving conditions as we get toward morning. No, don't worry. I circle. Okay, where I circle, that's it. That's the best chance for a tornado, but it's really low. It's like if you buy a Powerball ticket, your chance is really low of winning. If you buy 10, you have a better chance, but it's still really low. So don't worry. Well, we're not going to be concerned just yet because so far these storms have not been spinning. Something has been helping them to not see that low-level rotation. And for us here in Alexandria, and let me see if I can pull up another map real quick. I want to see if this... Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I still, 2 years in, I'm still learning this system to a degree. So let's go into National High-Res Dew Points. Okay, so this is, and I'm going to take off the warnings and watches and all that stuff. So this is your dew point map, and you can see that the darker, or the lighter colors, they're 56, 56. Here in Alexandria, 61. We want to see, if you want to see severe weather, 70, 68, something like that. And I did see a lightning flash on the Natchitoches camera up there, that one two ahead of me, or above me. So Jonesville, you're north of the front. If you're feeling kind of cool outside, well, then you're north of that front. Down to southern Vernon Parish, and actually you can see that surge, and this is kind of where I drew that front earlier. You can see how that dew point surges up. Let me draw the line here, make it kind of easy for you to see. So right here, northern end of Toledo Bend, through just south of Natchitoches, and then it got suppressed. And this is the 60-ish degree line. The real front, I think, is more like this. So that's where you go from like 62 to 68, 69, 70 degrees on the dew point. So south of this, that's where your higher severe threat's going to be. North of that, that's where your higher threat for heavy rain's going to be. It's kind of weird how that all works out, but it's going to be more widespread rainfall up there. So that's dew points right now. And that has, let me see if I can loop those. I don't think I can. Oh, I can. Again, learning stuff every day. Let's go over the last 4 hours. Let's have some fun here. This isn't terribly fun, but you can see how it was kind of waffling around here. It's a stationary front that was just kind of wavering, and then over the last couple of hours, this has settled down to the south, and that is great news, because if we saw this surging northward, which it looked like it was going to earlier, that would bring us a heightened threat for severe weather. But as this cold front and this upper system impinges on this cooler and cooler and less humid air, I guess I should say, well, that's going to give us a lower threat for tornadoes. We could still see perhaps an isolated damaging wind gust, maybe a little small hail or something. But seeing these values come down, which we can see really, and let me do the last 2 hours because that's a pretty long loop there. Last 2 hours, and these kind of jump every 15 minutes. You can see how things have kind of settled back down to the south here in the last few frames there. So that is great news. We want to see dew points low. Checking the, I'm going to check the airport right now just to see what they are reporting. 62 degrees over 61 on the dew point. So yeah, it's still south of there, and the winds are from the east, not from the south or southeast, which would be preferred for severe weather. So let me see here. Is the front coming back? Yeah, it's gonna, as that low moves out of Texas, that weak low right around here, that's gonna pull. You can see how it kind of tilts from up here into northern Sabine Parish down toward Alexandria, and that is gonna come back up. Now we had some rain cooled air and things that kind of adjusted this. You can see if we did not have the rain cooled air, well, the dew points are still up there around Jackson, Mississippi. Let me see what the numbers are up there. So 65, 63, it's not optimal, but it's higher than it was because we got things cooled off earlier by those rain showers that came through. So those could be our savior for today. This could be our saving grace. Now let's put things in motion. You can see how the individual storms are kind of riding on toward the northeast, and it does look like that line's, it's pretty healthy right now. That's going to continue to surge on to the east. We have these elements that are trying to go, and again, this is the Shreveport radar. I'm going to go back to Fort Polk. So as I was showing you, the HRRR keeps taking these little cells right here and trying to make them into giant supercells. This stuff here in Vernon Parish and this in St. Landry. So far, that has not happened. As they get further north, we're seeing them start to become a little more robust, but they're not severe. So I will put the warnings back on, make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, we have severe thunderstorm warnings kind of lined up from east of Shreveport. Looks like that is, let's see if that's including Ruston yet. No, it's west of Ruston, so including Minden down toward Mansfield, you're in the warning. And into deep East Texas. I saw a question about Woodville, Texas. I think you're looking pretty decent right now, especially with the radar looking like this. Yeah, those cells are kind of breaking around. You had to watch this one out near Shepherd, but that's a little west of our area here. But I'm watching anything, really, any sort of severe thing that I'm seeing. And this one, I'm gonna take a look at the velocity on it right now as this crosses the lake. So this is just about to surge in over Toledo Bend. And the wind's aloft, 50-ish miles per hour. Very easy to bring that down to the surface. And could be stronger at the surface as that downburst kind of hits the ground. And it looks like we have a pretty solid core of action right there. Just moving over to the storm relative velocity. And there's nothing saying, hey, there's a tornado out of this one, but it does look like some very heavy rainfall moving into Sabine Parish. This is kind of the, I said it was probably going to be more like 10 or so it's good to see it here a little bit sooner. That means you'll be able to get to bed earlier in parts of the area, and I'm going to be monitoring this line as it continues on to the east. I'll just be saying the same thing over and over if I stick around here right now, so I'm going to monitor for reports and everything, but I wanted to get you an update because I've been kind of itching to do one. So here we go. Our safe room is our 16-year-old's bathroom. No, you can't. Oh, God bless you. Yeah, that's rough. I don't want to make you go in there. What time for Plocheville? 2, 3 o'clock in the morning is when I think things will go in there. You'll see some rain out of this, perhaps, the cell that's trying to form right now. But yeah, this is the big line right here. So far, so good on anything trying to develop out ahead of it. All right, I'm going to go help my wife get something out of the attic. I'll be back if I need to be in a couple of minutes here, but yeah, the warnings are going to start popping off. I hope they will mainly be severe thunderstorm warnings and not tornado warnings. So there you go. All right, I'm going to get out of here for now. I will see you back in a bit. Again, not streaming on the 24-hour channel right now because it did not click over, and I'm not exactly sure why, but I'll look at that also. All right, I'll probably see you here fairly shortly.
No matter the weather, Alexandria Emergency Hospital is always here for you. Rain or shine, our doors are open 24/7 to provide the care you and your loved ones need fast. Every second counts, and Alexandria